Not every ancestor is relevant. Okay? Some ancestors are not beneficial in the circle. The presence of some ancestors is not beneficial. So when you invite ancestors, always precise highest ascended ancestors whose presence is beneficial for the healing of this person. Okay, some ancestors have agendas and they want the descendant to fulfill this agenda. And it's not necessarily aligned with the higher calling of that person.
Why do we say highest ascendant ancestors?
Because some ancestors are not ascended. And some ancestors are not very high, ascended very high.
So it's like more of inviting those like with the good intention, or like,
Yes, those that have the right level of consciousness to for them to be beneficial for their presence to be beneficial in the circle. So I give you an example. When I was in Hawaii, I had a very difficult time there because I started doing some collective healing in this place. And the ancestors were absolutely against it. And so, because of all the trouble that it gave me, I entered in communication. I had to understand what was going on. And so, their point of view, finally, with the communication, we understood their point of view. And their point of view was that they estimated that the land was stolen from them because the whole story with Hawaii becoming American, like US, belonged to the USA, it's only like 100 years old. And so it's a very raw story. And the ancestors who fought in battle in these fields, in these battlefields, they were all still around. None of them were ascended. Not only that, they were still fighting on the etheric plane. So the battle was still ongoing, and they did not want their descendants to actually make peace with the American. They did not want their descendant to facilitate the progression or the installation or the development of the US government in Hawaii at all. And so when I asked them if they wanted to actually ascend, go to the light, blah, 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 and show them that it was a very difficult mission that they've taken upon themselves, they said, we cannot do that because like I spoke with one of the chiefs, she was a woman, and she said, I cannot now go because I have like a whole battalion, behind me, counting on me. And I also have superiors. We are all involved in this. We do not want them to take our land. We're still fighting for it. Now, this was before the fires of Maui, just like maybe 2 months before. So when the fire happened, I realized that yes, there was still an ongoing battle of the US government, trying to take more and expel more of the indigenous people and steal more land, etc., etc. So I understood more after that why they were still there fighting. And so they explained to me that the situation that happened in Hawaii, where like there are a lot of hotels that are closing down, like huge facilities closing down. Why? Because they cannot find workers Like things are not working, they build huge facilities, and for some reasons, it doesn't work. They have to close. And they told me that they were behind it. So, this is just an example how sometimes the ancestors count on their descendant to continue the fight. Because those descendants now, like maybe like 3, 4 generations after it, they don't feel the fight as raw as their ancestors, who themselves were spoliated and stolen and everything. Some of them already married with US people. So they're already mixed blood. So, but the ancestors don't want the descendant to give up because the anger is still very, very, very raw. So they said, yeah, people think they come to Hawaii and they are actually resting, and like it's not that they are resting; it's that we create a field around this plan that create some lethargy. It puts them in a state of lethargy. So they think that they are actually resting, but they are not resting. They are lethargic. We do this on purpose so they wouldn't be able to move forward with their plan. Anyway, now it was just a small parenthesis to explain that not every ancestor has in mind the highest fulfillment of the soul calling of their descendant. Okay, so you are careful when you're calling for ancestors always. You make sure that you add all the qualificative and the adjective that are necessary